super vulnerable post because I'm crying. But it's important, so here I am. I find myself trying to stifle this so I can get into a teaching mode, and that's not what's needed right now. What's needed is for me to stay in this. Where do I want to start? A bunch of years ago, I read a thing that says it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. And I sat with it, and I observed the world for a while to see whether or not I thought that was true. And I decided to give it a try. So I went through a short but pretty radical period of kind of doing what I felt I wanted to do and asking for forgiveness when I needed it, which quickly led to a recalibration because I didn't like the consequences of that. I didn't like having to be asking for forgiveness. I didn't like the shame that I felt that came up when I did something that hurt someone. But I didn't want to go too far into the box that I'd put myself in to keep myself from offending. And so I recalibrated. And I noticed what I noticed. And I recalibrated. I noticed what I noticed. And I recalibrated. I spent a lot of time recalibrating. So I try on different ways of being, trying to find one that works, where I can just sort of effortlessly go through life and not offend people and do what I want and enjoy myself and make my life work and be able to be like deep in thought, meditation, and breathing while I'm doing it all at the same time. That's sort of complete freedom for a philosopher, I guess, is to have the body doing what it needs to do without much input and having the mind doing what it wants to do without much input or side effect, and to have other people that are interacting be enjoying the thing as well. That's my secret game that I play, is trying to get calibrated so that all that works. And sometimes it goes really awry. Sometimes, even though I'm not living that way anymore, right? So, I've noticed that there are some social norms that that are important. That it's not okay, really, to just do what you want and to just ask for forgiveness when it doesn't work for people. We should be aware of what people's boundaries are. But sometimes that's really hard. And I call myself a relationship expert, and I can't always see for myself, like in my own relationships, what I'm doing because I can't see me. The reason I'm a relationship expert isn't because I have perfect relationships. It's because I can look at a dynamic and see what's flowing and what's not flowing and what barriers there are to it be flowing. Vulnerable post, huh? So when I was living like that, it was better to ask for forgiveness than permission. I was expecting to have to ask for forgiveness. I was expecting to have to give emergency empathy. I was expecting me to tread on other people's boundaries. I was expecting that. And I didn't like it, which is one of the reasons I recalibrated. But two things recently, like in the last month, two different people. I had done something in the past. So let me tell it, and then I'll explain the perspective issue. I had done things in the past that had hurt these people. They both happened to be men. They both happened to be older than me. They both happened to be people that I respect very much. And I did things out of my own flow. In both cases, I was really absorbed in my own flow, and I wasn't really noticing what was going on for them, and I wasn't really noticing that I had, I don't even know, I can't even explain, but that I had done things that I should ask for forgiveness for. And I don't know if I cleaned those up well, and I don't know if I asked for forgiveness well, and I don't know if asking for forgiveness is even something that you can do at that point. I think giving emergency empathy is what I did, and recalibrating is what I did. And I don't know about asking for forgiveness anymore. I don't even really understand. That thing that I tried on, it was pretty bad, right? I asked if there was anything I could do to clean it up. With one of them. The other one, the conversation didn't go that way. Anyway, the reason this is so difficult, I think, is because there's this this thing, present me, the present me that's sitting here, has done a whole bunch of work since those things happened. Has recalibrated many times, has lived lots of other experiences, would not do those same things today. In either case, would not do those same things at all. And those people would be more safe with me today than they were in the past. And so past me is really a ghost. Past me is a story. Past me is a memory, is an experience, is a legacy, is a something, but past me doesn't have hands anymore. Present me is the only one with hands. One of them's holding the phone. And because present me is the one with hands, present me is the one that has to take this, that has to receive it. Present me, even though I'm not the one that did it in my mind, because it was so long ago, it was like, trying to open a program in the current operating system on my computer when it was a very old operating system that saved it. That's a pretty good analogy. And so present me now knows that I have to receive this, that's part of my social work training. I learned that in getting my master's degree. That's part of like one of the things that we have to do with clients is, that you have to take responsibility. Taking responsibility means using your present hands to deal with something that past you did, or that somebody did to impact present you. Future me has needs, but doesn't have hands yet. So present me needs me to make sure that people feel safe around me if I want them to be my friend. Present me has to do that work so that future me has friends. Future me has needs and doesn't have hands. So present me really has a tremendous amount of responsibility in dealing with past me's messes and ensuring that I'm setting up the future for future me, that things won't be too hard. And so present me, many incarnations now of present me have been sitting with these things and sitting with the feelings of them and digesting what there is and seeing what wisdom is there that I can share. And here we are. I guess I want to finish with this. I'm having difficulty with the second or third wave of Me Too. What I would like to be seeing the movement do is getting us more to a point where we're all one. What I see it doing, at least on my news feeds, is that it's getting us more against. It's getting us more against men, against patriarchy, against what they stand for, against all this stuff. And I don't think any peace comes from against. I think it's really, really important that when we did something that made somebody else feel unsafe or unheard or unwanted or unloved or unworthy or any of those things, that we take the information and we feel. I think we have to do that. What comes from that is not pointing fingers. What comes from that is not destroying. What comes from that is love. So I think we all need to